The incredible power of women in the Mongol Empire. Mongol men and women learned to do each other's tasks. If one died, the other partner could look after the family. Genghis Khan's father Yasuge was poisoned by a rival. His mother Olun had to flee into the steppe. She was able to survive there with her son. Both Mongol men and women rode horses. Women could use a bow for hunting. Setting up and packing up camp was women's duty. Women followed cavalry units behind the main forces. One woman could drive several supply wagons. Only men could produce alcoholic beverages. But drinking was a norm for both men and women. They attended feasts at tribal gatherings together. Being drunk was honorable among the Mongols. Men's and women's clothing was very similar. Both genders wore trousers and earrings. The Mongol religion included elements of shamanism. Shamans could be both men and women. Women sometimes presided over services. Mongol marriages strengthened alliances. Women usually married outside their clan groups. There was a custom of abducting women from rival tribes. It strengthened one group and weakened the other. Men paid a price to their future father-in-law, but many nomadic men were relatively poor. They would steal a wife during a raid. A bride brought a dowry with her. It remained her property. Her children inherited the dowry upon her death. Polygamy was common among the Mongols. A widow could be adopted by her husband's younger relative, but one wife was always selected as a senior. Her children inherited their father's position. The wives received a portion of their husband's property. It was then passed on to her youngest son. The wives of rulers promoted loyalty to their husbands. The women made speeches to enthuse warriors. They entertained their husbands' visitors. If a tribal leader died, his widow represented him. Electing a new ruler could take several years. The widows or mothers of the great Khans reigned as regents. Emperor Akbar created the first Mughal harem, but Mongol women weren't willing to live behind walls. The emperor's aunt asked to let her go to Mecca. She gathered together 11 women. Together they fled to western Arabia. Nur Jahan was the wife of Akbar's son Jahangir. She never lived in the harem. In 1619, Jahangir and Nur Jahan set out from Agra. A group of hunters begged them for help. A man-eating tiger was stalking their village. Nur Jahan was a famed markswoman. Atop an elephant, she searched for the tiger. When the tiger emerged, the elephant tried to flee, but Nur Jahan managed to kill the tiger with one shot. Only a monarch was allowed to kill a tiger. Nur Jahan co-ruled with her husband for decades. She signed and issued imperial orders. Coins were minted in both their names. Once Jahangir was imprisoned by his own officer, Nur Jahan led troops into battle to free Jahangir. She governed in his stead when his health failed. Nur Jahan's first marriage was to an ordinary officer. They lived in Bengal, the land of the tiger. Nur Jahan had to protect her home with a gun. The women of the Mongol Empire were very free for that time. In fact, they were freer than many women in modern Mongolia.